I was in Zurich the other day at a store whose name I will not mention, and I was, let's see, I didn't have my eyelashes on, but I was in full Oprah Winfrey gear. I had my little Donna Karan skirt and my little sandals and But obviously, the Oprah Winfrey show is not shown in Zurich. So this doesn't happen to me unless somebody obviously doesn't know that it's me. But I was in Zurich for Tina Turner's wedding, and I decided I'm going to leave the hotel. It's just me by myself. Stedman, wasn't there, and I go into a store, which shall remain unnamed, and I say to the woman, "Excuse me, may I see that bag right above your head?" And she says to me, "No, it's too expensive." And I said, no, see, you see the black one, the one that's folded over, and she said, no, you don't want to see that one. You want to see this one, because that one will cost too much. You will not be able to afford that. And I said, well, no, I really did want to see that one. And she refused to get it. She refused to get it. And she started to show me these other little bags. And I said, one more time I said, but I really do just really want to see that one. And she said, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. And I said, okay, thank you so much. You're probably right. I can't afford it. And I walked out of the store.
There is no such thing as race. None.
Really?
There's just a human race. Scientifically, anthropologically, racism is a construct, a social construct. And it has benefits. It has money can be made off of it. And people who don't like themselves can feel better because of it. It can describe certain kinds of behavior that are wrong or misleading. So it has a social function, racism. But race can only be defined as a human being.
If the racist white person, I don't mean the person who is examining his consciousness and so on, doesn't understand that he or she is also a race, it's also constructed, it's also made, and it also has some kind of serviceability. But when you take it away, I take your race away. And there you are, all strung out, and all you got is your little self. And what is that? What are you without racism? Are you any good? Are you still strong? Still smart? You still like yourself? If you can only be tall because somebody's on their knees, then you have a serious problem.
I know that I'm responsible for my actions, and I would suggest that while I know we're all responsible for our own actions, it's important to understand that racism affects me on the daily. Young men of color are confronted with the world that's telling us that we're not valued, that we're criminal by nature, and we're people to be feared. Because of this reality, I wake up in the morning and I just don't know how my day's gonna go. Since the day I was born, the color of my skin has affected how other people view me, and subsequently how I view myself. From an early age, I learned to be afraid to be black. My grandparents, who were born in South Carolina, told me stories about the dirt, stories about growing up in the Deep South. They lived in a time where it was a game to hate and harass black people. And it was like you got a trophy for just being an innocent black person. The rules of the game have changed, and there are different players, but the game remains the same.
Why do we hate?
We hate because we're taught to hate. We hate because we're ignorant. We are the product of ignorant people who have been taught an ignorant thing, which is that there are 4 or 5 different races. There are not 4 or 5 different races. There's only one race on the face of the earth, and we're all members of that race, the human race. But we have separated people into races so that some of us can see ourselves as superior to the others. We thought it would work, I guess. It hasn't worked. It has been bad for everyone. But it's time to get over this business. There is no gene for racism. There's no gene for bigotry. You're not born a bigot. You have to learn to be a bigot. Anything you learn, you can unlearn. It's time to unlearn our bigotry. It's time to get over this thing, and we best get over it pretty soon. I'm an educator, and it's my business as an educator to lead people out of ignorance. The ignorance of thinking that you're better or worse than someone else because of the amount of a pigment in your skin. Pigmentation in your skin has nothing to do with intelligence or with your worth as a human being. There are not 4 or 5 different races. There's only one race on the face of the earth, and we're all members of that race, the human race.
The human race. The human race. The human race.